I'm out here navigating. I am out here navigating the streets. Hi, do you remember me? I'm Dimitri, and this channel is about faith, fun and finance. So if you're interested in all three and have continued to subscribe despite my absence, I appreciate you. But today, don't worry, we're not going to have a long shambles about me not being here for a while. What we're going to do is talk about the 7 things I think you should get sorted before you head into your 30s. This was something that I had to learn the hard way because no one told me about it. So I'm telling you guys today. So, first one is personal hygiene. Now, when I talk about personal hygiene, I know that we're kind of thinking about smells and making sure that you have a shower regularly or a bath regularly, make sure you use deodorant, making sure, you shave if you want to, and that's kind of thing. But when I talk about personal hygiene, and I am looking down because I've got my laptop here, also I'm thinking about your skin, your hair, and your teeth. Now I'll work my way back. In terms of the teeth, like guys, please be brushing morning and night. Twice a day. That's what the dentist recommends. But not only that, be flossing as well. Like ensure that you floss your teeth. And what I will tell you is make sure that you get the back teeth. Make sure you are getting your very back molars, the ones at the bottom and the ones at the top, because those were my points of error, and that's because I wasn't actively going in. Dentistry, definitely look into that. Hair. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have cut my hair, which has been exciting. And I think generally, whether you are wearing a wig, whether you wear extensions, whether you wear your hair natural, straightened, relaxed, however you wear your hair, I would recommend that you should take care of it. And I found now that I'm kind of almost starting my journey again since cutting my hair, I definitely have a better sense of I think it just helps my outfit look more clean. So hair's another one. And then skin. Now for me, my skincare journey started around 2020, where I actually looked online, YouTube, into products that were going to be better for my skin. I would say definitely invest in looking after your skin. If you can afford, go to the dermatologist. If you can't, watch videos on YouTube specifically related to skin, and perhaps look into whether you want to implement some of their things. I will link below 3 people I watch, actually 2 mainly for people of color and 1 that is a Caucasian man. I'm sure you guys already know about these people, but I'll just link it just to be on the safe side. So that's the first thing. The first thing you should get right in your 20s as you move into your 30s is personal hygiene. The second thing that you need to get right is finance. I'd say at the bare minimum, you need to have £1,000 emergency fund by the time you go into your 30s, like for real. And I mean, like, you have the discipline to know that you don't just touch that money for touching its sake, but you truly know that money's for emergencies. And if you can build it up, then great. You need to know your finances. What are your ingoings? What are your outgoings? How much do you owe? How much have you saved? That, to begin with, will be a good start. The third thing I'd say that you should really prioritize personally in your 20s is enjoyment. And when I say enjoyment, I mean, I'm a Christian, so it's got to be, God glorifying enjoyment. For me, it's traveling. I love going on holiday. I love going to different places, really being able to see and enjoy the country with the locals. I literally just came back from Italy with a dear friend, and it was amazing. Please prioritize holidays and just maximizing your time, because the truth of the matter is, and sorry if you can hear an airplane, but the truth of the matter is that seasons can change like that, right? You can be, I literally saw this on Instagram, 6 years single, and then in 6 months you're getting married, and that time has gone. You could be, a student for 3-4 years, and then you're in work full time and you no longer have the annual leave. Personally, I'd say do it. Fourth thing that you need to be prioritizing, I would say, is friendships. My friends have been holding me down throughout the years, and I am so grateful. And you don't need many, to be honest with you. 10's a lot of friends. 10 friends in a circle is a lot of friends to have. 6, great number. Don't just have 1 inner circle friend or inner circle friend. Have at least, I'd say 3 or 4, because you don't want just to have to rely on that one person. But 3, 4, even 5, really close friends. Not that they necessarily have to know each other. I would recommend that. Right now on 5, this one I've got from Jordan Peterson actually, and I don't know if you know him, but he talks about that in your 20s you should actually prioritize relationships, and he talks about it being more romantic relationships. I'd say probably maybe once you kind of hit your mid-20s, so you're 24, 25, you've likely have gone to university or started your apprenticeship or have gone into the working field, you've built up some experience, you're not brand new to being an adult. I would say around that kind of 24, 25, 26, if it doesn't happen sooner, then I would say, and this is from experience, listen, I'm out here navigating. I am out here navigating the streets. So I would start prioritizing looking into romantic relationships if that is something that you are into. And also I think it really links in with purpose, right? If you want to be married, you really need to think, okay, but what do I believe that the Lord has put a burden in my heart? What do I believe is a natural purpose that I have? Do you want your husband or your wife to be in that field, or does it have to be separate? And they can be different, don't get me wrong, but if your husband or your wife feels like they've been called to go out to the unreached people group, and you feel like you've been called to work in a field within the standard 9-to-5 job, that's difference of purpose. And you need to know that when you are, if you are actively seeking a spouse. The sixth thing, oh my gosh, the sixth thing I think you need to be working on in your 20s, heading into your 30s, is definitely your career. Now, I wouldn't say necessarily that you have to stick to the career that you are in once you turn 30, but I think you should be developing your professional skills. Make sure that you've been able to do a job for, you know, working 9-to-5, or coming in, being able to do what you've been asked to do. And I know entrepreneurship is really big, and that's fine, but it's always helpful to have been in kind of more of a corporate environment. When I say corporate, I don't mean in terms of ties and suits, I just mean in terms of like with set protocols to follow, because I think that will help you in the future. And also, just your career is about you putting your head down and saying, I really want to increase my knowledge in this. I'm taking my passion and I'm moving forward with it. We are allowed to chop and change, okay? But it's just actually saying, am I content with my career right now? And if I'm not, what am I doing about it? The seventh thing I would say is fashion, and it's learning your personal style. And this is something that I would have done very recently, like literally over the last 10 to 11 months. And I wouldn't say I'm like a fashionista, but I definitely feel so much more comfortable and confident when I leave my house. I've started to be able to know the pieces that work on my body, be able to put pieces together, and it's a real joy. I know it's like, you know, clothes isn't going to bring you to heaven, but I think actually recognizing, you know, what is my personal style, making sure that you recognize what you like, what you don't like. And this is not necessarily about following the trends and keeping up with the, you know, the Joneses when it comes to fashion. You know, they say ballerina flats are in, and now you are buying all the ballerina flats. They say snake skin is in, and now you've got 502 pieces of snake skin outfits. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to recognize kind of what you like, what you don't like. What in your wardrobe do you look at, and when you put on, you always, you know, like, oh God, girl, you're looking good. When you are wearing something that is ill-fitting or you don't like specifically, you're more likely, one, not to wear it, and then two, if you do wear it, you just kind of feel a little bit, yeah. And we don't want that. I don't want that for you, and I know you hopefully don't want that for yourself as well. The final tip, the bonus tip, which is the 8th tip, I would say is your personality. Heading into your 30s, heading into your mid to late 20s, I think it's really important for you to know your person. Who am I? Who am I? And it is a big question, and it is, again, it's very multifaceted, but I know that my personality is that I'm typically just more of an outgoing individual. I'm the person that is, you know, some would consider dramatic, but I realize that it's not me trying to be dramatic. It's in fact just my natural personality. Also, we have different personalities, so sometimes I actually do want to be a little bit more softer or a little bit more quiet, and that's okay. And it's not that we aren't changing, it's not that we don't develop and grow. Your personality might not be the same in every stage of life, but checking into yourself and recognizing who you are as a being is very, very important. And with all that I have said, I just realized I did not mention God. And I have to say that first and foremost, personally, in my humble opinion, I would say it's very, very, very important that as early as possible, you look into God if you don't know him. You seek out to see if there is a God. And if there is a God, who is the true God? Because there are individuals with multiple different religions, multiple different faiths. I am a Christian. I believe that there is one true God. And I'm so grateful that as I've journeyed through my life from my teenage years up until, you know, my now 30s, I have been able to walk with God and have faith in him. A close relationship with God. It can't be imagined, because what I'm telling you, and I'm saying loud and clear, is that life is difficult. Life has challenges. And for me, knowing that I'm walking with the God who is the ruler of all challenges I go through, and knowing that the Bible tells me that the challenges are actually going to bring forth good fruit in my life, it's going to allow me to become more and more like Christ, really, is so important. There is definitely other things I could mention, but I'm going to stop here. I know I've not been around, for a long while, but and this year of 30, I really want to be consistent, and YouTube is definitely a big part of that. So thank you for watching, and I will see you by God's grace in the next video. Bye for now.